Greetings, viewers. Today we've got some more work. That's basically rescue work on this machine here, which, if you remember, was the APU build. I'm going to turn this fan off before it bombards the camera with wind noise. The APU build that didn't really work out in my last video. Windows all of a sudden just stopped working, and I have reason to believe that it has something to do with that memory module, because I was screwing around with the machine after the video and I bumped that RAM stick, and the system just went berserk after I did that. And really, there's not a whole lot else that I can point to be a problem with this, because it's not booting to any of the optical drives, Windows 7 or Windows 8, and same deal with the USB stick. And I even remade the Windows 8 USB stick and it still gave me an error message saying that WinLoad was corrupt. And sometimes it wouldn't boot anything at all. It would just say that, the file is possibly corrupt, which I think is actually a message coming from the UEFI BIOS on this thing, which is rather ominous. I've unplugged the hard drive, and I'm going to go ahead and replace that RAM, because I have right here an 8 gig kit of DDR3. I think this is actually DDR3 1600. These are 4 gigs apiece. Intended for another project, really, but they'll go in here just as a test for the time being. Might stay in here because I might upgrade this to 64-bit anyway and ditch this capture card and just get like a HD webcam or something, which is really probably better off than using the capture card. Either way, we'll give it a try and see what happens. Well, it still posts with the new RAM installed, and it's actually running at 1600 megahertz now. That's an improvement. Before, it was a 1333 module running at 1066. So we'll see if it'll actually boot to the USB now without any prodding. It might not. I don't know how the boot order is actually set up on this thing. So it seems to be weird. I have the UEFI turned off. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm not going to keep my hopes up for this working. At least it tried to boot right on the first try. I think it's going to work. Alright. Yep, there we go. That's farther than it got before. So I'm going to shut it down, if I can. I want to cancel Windows installation. And I'm going to get a Windows 7 disk and try that instead. Now let's see what Windows 7 setup does. I don't remember. I think this is 32-bit. Again, we're getting farther than it was before. So it looks like we might actually stand a chance at working. That was ridiculously fast. So I'm going to actually put the old hard drive back and see if it will continue to boot that Windows 7 installation. Okay. Let's see what it does now. A2. It's pausing at A2. That's what it was doing before. I wonder if maybe the hard drive does have a little bit of damage from it. Because I thumped the machine pretty hard in order to maybe try and see if I could get it to work. But again, it's booting where it wasn't before. Or at least it was. Now it's doing I don't even know what. Right, because there's a hard drive issue. Alright, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can persuade it to play ball. Okay, at least for now, I'm actually going to go ahead and try and restore a backup, because I really do not feel like reinstalling Windows right now. It does mean I'm going to have to install all the drivers all over again, which is kind of a pain, but you know what? I'll take that over having to waste my time installing Windows trying to get this capture card to work. So, we'll see. It's actually going over USB 3.0, so it's quite quick. Might take another 15 minutes, and that's about it. Okay, we're back in business. This camera is behaving strange, but we are back in business. So now it's installing a bunch of drivers. So we'll let it do its thing, we'll reboot, and we'll grab whatever we need, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the Ethernet, at the very least. And probably the video. We'll probably start with the Ethernet, because then I can access my server at least, and get things off of there. Right, get the LAN driver installed. So that way I can access the rest of everything else. Over the network, I don't have to put it on a slow USB stick. I can take advantage of the gigabit speeds on my network. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Alright, and the machine is now all set up in its permanent home. It's been running for a little bit now and hasn't crashed yet. So, I think that's all it was. It was one bad RAM stick. Here's our new experience index scores as well. You have to compare it to the previous video because the only scores I would have had to compare to were the old scores from the old quad core, the Q8400. You can see simply installing that faster RAM bumped up the performance quite a bit, actually. Another interesting thing that is worth noting when we come in here, it's only 2.21 gigabytes usable. So I wonder if it's using how much video memory. It's got 6 gigs of VRAM, or it's trying to use 6 gigs of VRAM. Okay, I gotta update that. But I'm also not really sure. I think I mentioned it in the previous video. I don't know how these temperatures work, but I'm pretty sure the CPU is hotter than 7 degrees. Just a hunch. Anyway, I'm sure this video is being bombarded with wind noise from fans. That's alright. It's a Trinity APU, socket FM2. What if there's a way for me to see that? Probably if I go into the Catalyst Control Center. I want information. Hardware. Let's see if it'll actually tell me what it's running. Well, it's only running 768 megabytes. Seems kind of low to me. But that's okay. It's probably just because of the faster RAM that it's so much better. But I think that's going to do it for the video. So hopefully this time I'll be able to actually run my backup and get everything up to date, and I'll have a system that'll run forever. I have noticed that the hard drive LED... Oh gosh, is this going to focus on that? I don't know. You might be able to see it. But the hard drive LED is on practically solid, which I think is odd, but oh well. As long as the system works, I really don't care.